Have you ever wondered how your daily coffee habit might be quietly affecting your sexual health and energy levels as you age? You might love that boost of energy in the morning. But what if I told you that same coffee could be silently working against you in ways you never imagined? In today's video, we'll explore the surprising ways coffee impacts your blood flow, testosterone levels, and even your ability to enjoy intimacy. But that's not all. Did you know excessive coffee consumption can also interfere with your sleep, which plays a crucial role in maintaining your sexual desire and overall health? Stay with me until the end because I'll also be revealing how you can enjoy coffee in moderation without sacrificing your sexual health. Plus, we'll cover the psychological effects coffee can have, from increasing anxiety to affecting your confidence, and how making small adjustments to your routine can lead to a more satisfying and fulfilling intimate life. This is information every man over 50 needs to know. Don't miss out on the key tips that could help you maintain your health, your relationships, and your vitality. Keep watching to learn how to balance your coffee habit while taking control of your sexual health and energy. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. As men age, the body undergoes a series of inevitable and often challenging transformations, one of the most significant being the decline in sexual health and vitality. For many, this shift is gradual, so subtle that it goes unnoticed until it becomes a prominent aspect of their daily lives. While numerous factors contribute to these changes, one aspect that is often overlooked is the role of something as commonplace as coffee. Although coffee is celebrated for its ability to stimulate the central nervous system, delivering that familiar energy boost and enhancing concentration, it harbors hidden complexities. Beneath the surface, it impacts more than just wakefulness. It alters blood circulation and, over time, can significantly affect erectile function. As men age, maintaining a healthy, satisfying sex life becomes increasingly tied to the quality of blood flow. The male member, like all other organs, requires proper circulation to function optimally, and here's where the problem begins. Coffee, while providing that initial burst of alertness, causes a temporary spike in blood pressure due to its caffeine content. This spike may seem harmless or even beneficial at first, but for older men whose blood vessels have begun to harden, a natural consequence of aging, it can be detrimental. The hardening of blood vessels restricts the flow of blood to the pelvic region, an area that relies on steady circulation to achieve and sustain an erection. This restriction can make achieving intimacy not only difficult but deeply frustrating. Over time, these circulation issues compound. Coffee, in its role as a central nervous system stimulant, exacerbates the problem by creating short-term increases in blood pressure, which worsens the pre-existing condition of hardened arteries. For men in their later years, this means that the once effortless process of sexual arousal now requires significantly more effort, and the chances of erectile difficulties rise. For many men, this can be a source of immense emotional distress. The ability to maintain intimacy, to feel connected with one's partner, becomes more elusive, and the natural aging process, coupled with lifestyle choices like coffee consumption, only intensifies these feelings of inadequacy. Yet, circulation is only one piece of this complex puzzle. Another crucial factor is the impact coffee has on male hormones, particularly testosterone. Testosterone is often thought of as the driving force behind male sexual health, dictating libido, energy levels, and even mood. Without adequate testosterone, it becomes difficult for men to feel the same level of desire or passion for intimacy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. While caffeine can cause a temporary boost in testosterone levels, this spike is short-lived and can sometimes be more harmful than helpful. The body, sensing an abnormal increase in testosterone, may react by reducing its natural production of the hormone. Over time, this compensatory response can lead to a gradual and long-lasting decline in testosterone, leaving many older men with a diminished libido and a weakened sense of masculinity. For some men, this decline in testosterone is more than just a physical change. It becomes an emotional battle. The essence of what it means to feel vibrant, alive, and capable in their relationships seems to slip through their fingers, replaced by a feeling of inadequacy and even shame. Men who once prided themselves on their sexual prowess may find themselves struggling to maintain the same level of desire and performance. The emotional toll can be heavy, leading to a sense of isolation, frustration, and sadness over the loss of what once came so naturally. As a physician, I've seen these struggles firsthand. Countless men over the age of 50 have shared their stories with me. Stories of confusion and dismay as they try to reconcile the man they were with the man they become. Scientific studies support what I've observed in my practice. As men age, the effects of caffeine become more pronounced, and its impact on hormone levels can significantly reduce sexual desire. These men often describe a slow, creeping change, one that they didn't notice at first, but now realize has been affecting them for years. The temporary energy boost that coffee once provided has turned into something much more insidious, quietly undermining their sense of self and sexual vitality. And then, of course, there's the issue of sleep, a factor that is crucial not just for sexual health, but for overall well-being. Caffeine, being a stimulant, is notorious for disrupting sleep patterns, especially in older adults who tend to be more sensitive to its effects. For men over 50, sleep becomes an even more critical element in maintaining good health, including sexual health. During deep, restful sleep, the male body produces a majority of its testosterone. This process is vital for maintaining libido and energy levels. However, when coffee interferes with sleep, it disrupts this critical hormone production cycle, leading to lower testosterone levels and, in turn, lower sexual desire. Many men who consume coffee regularly report difficulties falling and staying asleep, especially as they age. What they often don't realize is how deeply this lack of sleep impacts their sexual health. Sleep deprivation has a domino effect, not only lowering testosterone levels, but also leading to chronic fatigue, irritability, and a general decline in physical and mental well-being. Over time, these issues compound, making it increasingly difficult to enjoy intimate moments or feel the same sense of connection with a partner. The once vibrant passion that defined their younger years fades, replaced by exhaustion and frustration. In my practice, I've had numerous conversations with older men who express a deep sense of loss, not just physical but emotional. They speak of their inability to fully engage with their partners in the way they once did, of the toll that fatigue and stress have taken on their relationships. For many, this goes beyond simple tiredness. It becomes a profound emotional challenge, one that affects their self-esteem and their overall outlook on life. The lack of rest, combined with the physical changes brought on by age and exacerbated by coffee consumption, creates a perfect storm of factors that make it difficult for these men to maintain satisfying, intimate relationships. It's not just the physical act of sex that suffers. Emotional intimacy, the deep connection that comes from feeling desired, loved, and valued, also begins to wane. For many men, the realization that they can no longer fulfill their partner's needs, or even their own, can lead to a sense of isolation and helplessness. Coffee, which once seemed like an innocent part of their daily routine, becomes a silent contributor to this decline, robbing them of the sleep, energy, and hormonal balance they need to feel fully alive in their relationships. To make matters worse, the cumulative effects of coffee on both circulation and hormone levels don't just disappear overnight. For men who have consumed coffee heavily throughout their lives, the damage can be long-lasting. Over time, the reliance on caffeine for energy and focus takes its toll, and the body's natural systems, those that regulate blood flow, hormone production, and sleep, become less efficient. The result is a profound shift in how these men experience their sexuality and their relationships, often leading to feelings of frustration, sadness, and even despair. For many older men, acknowledging these changes can be incredibly difficult. Society places a high value on masculinity, virility, and sexual performance, and the pressure to live up to these standards can be overwhelming. The realization that their bodies are changing, driven not just by age but by years of lifestyle choices like coffee consumption, can be a hard pill to swallow. But understanding these changes and recognizing the role that coffee plays in this process is the first step toward reclaiming a sense of control over one's health and well-being. Returning to the essential topic of circulation, we cannot overstate the role that cardiovascular health plays in a man's ability to perform during intimate moments, especially as he ages. The male member relies heavily on a consistent and healthy flow of blood through arteries and veins to function optimally. When these pathways are compromised, the impact can be both immediate and long-lasting. This is where coffee, a daily habit for millions, comes into the conversation. While coffee offers an undeniable boost to energy and alertness, it has a more complex relationship with our cardiovascular system, especially for men over the age of 50. It's important to recognize that coffee, when consumed in excess, can slowly begin to raise cholesterol levels, contributing to the hardening of arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This hardening restricts blood flow and can lead to a whole host of issues, not least of which is diminished sexual performance. For older men, this is more than just a minor concern. It can be life-changing. The American Heart Association has issued numerous warnings about the risks of excessive coffee consumption, particularly in older adults. It's not just about heart disease, though that is a serious concern in its own right. When the heart struggles, so too does the body's ability to circulate blood effectively, and the ramifications are felt throughout the body, including in a man's intimate life. Blood flow to the genital area is critical for sexual responsiveness, arousal, and performance. When that flow is restricted, it doesn't just reduce satisfaction during intimate encounters. It can erode a man's confidence, leaving him feeling inadequate and frustrated. This decrease in performance can create a cycle of disappointment, where the mind becomes as much of a barrier as the body. The decline in blood flow is not just about the ability to maintain an erection. It also affects a man's overall experience of pleasure. When the body is unable to properly respond due to insufficient blood flow, the sense of connection, intimacy, and fulfillment can feel incomplete. This can be an isolating experience for many men who may not feel comfortable discussing these issues openly, and as a result, they may suffer in silence. The emotional impact can be profound, adding layers of stress to what is already a physically challenging situation. Beyond the physical impact, there is another factor that coffee consumption affects, which is often overlooked: the psychological toll. While many of us rely on coffee to shake off the morning grogginess and boost our focus, the reality is that excessive consumption, particularly in older adults, can have the opposite effect. Instead of simply enhancing alertness, it can lead to heightened anxiety, restlessness, and jitteriness. For men over 50, who may already be grappling with the pressures of aging, the added anxiety from too much caffeine can create a perfect storm of mental and emotional distress. I have seen many men struggle with the consequences of chronic stress, both from work and from the pressures of daily life. When this stress is exacerbated by coffee-induced anxiety, it can seep into their intimate lives in ways that are hard to undo. One of the most common issues is a growing fear of failure or concern about sexual performance. This fear is deeply rooted in a lack of confidence, which is only heightened when a man feels anxious and uncertain about his abilities. The more anxious he becomes, the more likely he is to experience difficulties in the bedroom, creating a vicious cycle where stress and intimacy, or lack thereof, feed into one another. Sexual psychology has long established that anxiety is one of the most powerful inhibitors of sexual pleasure. When a person is anxious, their body cannot fully relax, and without relaxation, it's nearly impossible to enjoy the full spectrum of intimacy. Coffee, with its stimulating effects, can worsen this for men who are particularly sensitive to caffeine. Instead of feeling energized, they may find themselves on edge, mentally fixated on their worries, rather than being able to fully engage in the moment with their partner. This mental block can be as damaging as any physical issue, creating a disconnect between mind and body that further undermines a man's ability to enjoy intimacy. But is the solution as simple as quitting coffee entirely? Many might assume so, but fortunately, the answer isn't so drastic. For men over 50, the key is moderation. Finding a balance that allows you to enjoy the benefits of coffee without falling prey to its negative side effects. In my experience, I've found that recommending patients reduce their coffee intake to 1 or 2 cups per day can make a significant difference. This adjustment not only helps mitigate the cardiovascular risks associated with excessive coffee consumption, but also reduces the likelihood of caffeine-induced anxiety. For men who are particularly sensitive to caffeine, switching to decaffeinated coffee can provide the same comforting routine without the physical or psychological drawbacks. Another important consideration is timing. Drinking coffee later in the day can interfere with sleep, leading to a cascade of issues including fatigue, irritability, and, unsurprisingly, a decreased interest in intimacy. Sleep is an essential component of overall health, including sexual health. When the body is well rested, it is more capable of responding to physical and emotional stimulation. Conversely, when sleep is disrupted by too much caffeine, the body is left in a state of fatigue, which diminishes libido and energy. Limiting coffee consumption to the morning hours can help avoid these negative effects, allowing for better sleep and, by extension, better performance and enjoyment during intimate moments. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's important to remember that coffee in itself is not the enemy. Numerous studies show coffee has its benefits when consumed in moderation. It can improve mental focus, increase metabolism, and even provide antioxidants that are beneficial for overall health. The issue arises when coffee is consumed in excess, especially in older men whose bodies may not process caffeine as efficiently as they once did. When overindulged, coffee can tip the scales, exacerbating existing health problems such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and yes, even sexual performance issues. Balance is the key. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle that includes moderate coffee consumption, a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, and regular exercise can go a long way in preserving not just your cardiovascular health, but your intimate life as well. Exercise, in particular, is a crucial component. Regular physical activity improves circulation, reduces stress, and boosts energy levels, all factors that contribute to a better experience in the bedroom. When combined with moderation in coffee consumption, the negative effects of caffeine can be minimized, allowing men to continue enjoying both their coffee and their intimate relationships well into their later years. Ultimately, the goal is not to eliminate coffee from your life, but to recognize when it is doing more harm than good. By paying attention to your body's signals and making mindful adjustments, you can enjoy the pleasures of coffee without sacrificing your health or your intimate life. After all, intimacy is not just about physical performance. It's about connection, trust, and the ability to be fully present in the moment with your partner. When we allow stress and anxiety to interfere with that, we lose more than just our ability to perform. We lose the joy and fulfillment that intimacy can bring. Moderation, balance, and self-awareness are the keys to maintaining both a healthy relationship with coffee and a healthy intimate life. As we wrap up this important discussion on how coffee can impact cardiovascular and sexual health, it's time to reflect. What have you learned so far? Have you gained new insights about how your daily habits, like coffee consumption, might be influencing your health and well-being in ways you hadn't considered? We'd love to hear from you. So please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video that you will bring into practice in your own life. Whether it's reducing your coffee intake, finding balance in your routine, or simply being more mindful of your body's signals, every small change can make a big difference. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable insights. Your support means the world to us.